Hello everyone, my name is Alexandre Gaillard. I'm the CEO of InvestGlass and welcome to this webinar today where we'll show you InvestGlass automations. Thank you for attending this InvestGlass webinar. The webinar will last around 20 minutes. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask those questions into the chats. Thank you again and welcome to this presentation. I'm now going to share my screen. First, what is InvestGlass? So InvestGlass is a Swiss automation solution. Why people come to InvestGlass? They come to InvestGlass because they're looking for a Swiss cloud solution, which they can eventually install on their premise. This is extremely important because InvestGlass is the only Swiss solution which you can host on your premise wherever in the world. And of course, you can connect it to different kind of core banking system or CRM, including different kinds of accounting tools. The company is privately owned, which is also a security for companies looking for a sovereign solution. So why people come to InvestGlass? First, because they want to automate with a Swiss sovereign solution. Second, because they're looking for ready-made automations. And third, because they're looking for Swiss quality project management. They come for sovereignty because, as you might know, with the Cloud Act, all the data that you bring into those American solutions can be captured by different authorities. Of course, with InvestGlass, if you install it on premise, it's only on your local regulation, on your legal legislation that you will respond, and if it's on Swiss InvestGlass servers, to the Swiss regulation. So here you see some of our key customers: brokers, banks, financial advisors, but also universities, governments, embassies that are leveraging the fact that InvestGlass is a Swiss sovereign solution. So what do we do with InvestGlass? With InvestGlass, we automate different processes such as account opening, AML, CFTC, marketing, portal, transactions, KYC remediations, different types of corporate, private, and retail banking, as well as reporting. InvestGlass offers 8 kind of tools, starting from onboarding, CRM, to the actual portfolio management system and marketing. And today we will focus specifically on the automation, the approval process, and the AI. InvestGlass offers much more tools, of course, tools in sales, tools in automation, tools in onboarding. Coordinating those tools makes InvestGlass unique. Of course, you can also connect your own existing tool directly into InvestGlass API. Why is this interesting? Because InvestGlass can sit directly on the top of your stack, which means that you don't need to install the whole InvestGlass. Only pieces of InvestGlass can fit into your stack perfectly to improve sales, improve onboarding, improve compliance. The mindset of InvestGlass is what we call cooperative development, which means that what we develop for one of our customers will benefit the rest of the community. And because InvestGlass can be off-prem or on-prem, InvestGlass can be installed and prepared outside your ecosystem, then install inside your ecosystem behind the firewall, and then duplicate it, making sure that at any time you'll control your data. This is possible also because we have a support starting from Vietnam till so very early in the morning till late at night in Sao Paulo in Brazil. Again, here the idea is to automate everything from account opening, prospect scoring, marketing automation, client portal. But how are you going to automate those elements? For this, first you have to design what we call a Swiss process with a Swiss methodology. This means understanding very carefully each and every element of the journey. Okay. The next added value is the journey. It's not anymore the different types of services, if the website is going to be for a segment, but it's the actual journey. We'll help you, of course, to bring this journey and to make this journey alive in those different steps, 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps, with the different tools that we offer. Then we need to connect usually the data, because in most cases, your data is trapped into different islands. So we'll help you to bring the data, connect it into InvestGlass so that you can start automate the process of account opening or sales. For that, we'll help you by segregating which data can be seen by whom, and then we start to build the digital onboarding. The digital onboarding first question is, what are you aiming to automate? Is your client going to collect the data for you, or you're going to collect the data on behalf of your clients? Or is this going to be hybrid? Then you will start using InvestGlass forms by inputting some files, some fields that you see to the left inside pre-existing documents, or you can simply deconstruct the forms that you have into those forms, eventually then to facilitate the data collection and speed up the onboarding with packages. InvestGlass also provides a signature system so that you make sure that the CIDs, the identifiable information of your customers, stays into your cloud. Then once the onboarding is built, we go for approval process. Here to the left, you will see first the account and then two different beneficial owners. This can work for companies, for trusts, for individuals. And on the middle of the page, step 1 and step 2 will show you an approval process of InvestGlass, which is fully customizable, and where you see that two groups, AR001 and AR006, will vote in parallel. This system is actually very handy to prevent a flow of emails or long voting to accept a new prospect and turn it into a customer, for example. And this works also with way more complex workflows, such as KYC remediations and escalations, where at some time you have to use email, then you're going to use a phone, then later you're going to use an SMS, based on numbers of days that you'll be waiting for before you execute this workflow. Of course, quicker and better, and will always help you to build strong and fast fill-in questionnaires and forms. We'll also help you for the data collection. Automation is also repeating a routine. On 365 days, what are the routines your sales are expecting to do? And the same, automating the lead scoring. If something is not resolved, because there's an incident, because there's a request, how are you going to automate the answer? This is what we're going to show you now with automation. So automation, InvestGlass is a no-code system, so you don't need to program. However, if you still want to program, we have virtual machines working on Python, where your engineers can run their own algorithm. The system works with flows that are coming from different nature. We have our own flow system, and the data also can be collected from different sources. Here, for example, I'm going to build in front of you an automation. So for a contact, on a record action, I'm going to submit a form, onboarding form. Then next step, I'm going to add some specific filters on the data. So here, each time there's someone filling in a form, an onboarding form, and PEP entourage or politically exposed person equals true, and country of residence or country risk has a specific value. Here we added Nicaragua, which is a lovely country anyhow. And you see we can put an and or. Then we want to select a method, here send message. And I want to send a message to maybe a member of the company, so one of your colleagues, maybe the contact, or maybe the owner of the contact. I can send an email, I can send an SMS, and here, based on those information, I want to ask additional information to this prospect. Here I can input the text, I can inject files, forms, as well as variables which will land directly inside the body of the email. And then I can automate this type of workflow. You see, it's easy, no code. It's straightforward. Then I have approval process. So approval process means that you expect someone, so you can trigger it in an automated way, but you expect someone, a human, to take a decision. So here, the decision, it's going to be based on a condition to finish this process. So everyone approves, everyone rejects, someone responds, time of approval. And I can also set different elements such as reassign, create tasks, and decide how I want this process to be finished. And this can work in series or in parallel. As you have seen here, it works here. You see a parallel. So step one with two groups in parallel, ARR01, ARR06. And then in step two, there's only one group, AR003, that is going to cast their vote. The system works also when you wish to automate from a quote to an invoice. Okay, so from a quote of a product where I have different securities or different products, I set the quantities, the price, the discount, the rates, and then I can, as you see with the button below, send this quote for approval. So what is the future of added value if we are automating everything? Well, this is the story of InvestGlass. Selling individualization is taking a risk. And as you see, of course, the dot is bigger when you're further away from the center, but it's also a risk. And this is to find the right equilibrium. You understand, of course, that if a commoditized product is sold to someone won't be paying a lot because it's commoditized. Individualization, like your Starbucks or a private banking service, will of course cost more because there's more individualization. What is important with AI, if you automate to the next dimension of automation, is to make sure that you won't be not compliant. Okay, you won't fall out, be outside the compliance, suitability, appropriateness. You will be into the hallucination because then there's nothing you can sell, right? So the first question is how you're going to use AI with your client portal if you expect your customers to have videos, media, content that are going to be pushed to them in an automated way. Are you expecting to curate this this content? Your customers, will they be obliged to answer to everything for the data collection? Can be mandatory or not? And then you're going to start using in the artificial intelligence different engines. So as we are working in the financial industry, mostly we have a rule-based engine. This can also be applied into healthcare, into hospitalities, into any type of sales process. What I want to show you here is that before we use LLM, a large language model, you know, like ChatGPT and the equivalents, we have inside InvestGlass to impose the rules of what is the maximum, what is not tolerable, what is not compliant. And this is the architecture that you're currently looking on the screen. Once we've implemented this architecture, we can then build smart agents. So what is a smart agent? A smart agent aims to collect data from different variables, use an AI model. It can be OpenAI, it can be Claude. We connect to different APIs, or your own LLM, which you're going to host on your own premise. Then I can use different variables coming from the CRM, coming from the portfolio management system to create then specific bespoke answers to each and every interaction. Now, apply to finance or apply to accounting, it means that when I have my portfolio, as you find here to the right, the machine will give me different type of signals which are linked to suitability, appropriateness, rule-based engine, but also enhance with risk metrics, enhance with different type of statistics that I produce inside this portfolio. The machine will guide advisors, guide bankers to the next best actions, and this will be implemented with the AI. So here, for instance, I can ask questions with smart agents pre-built queries, and the machine will answer. And you will answer within the constraints that are the constraints of my portfolio, of my investment guidelines, of my clients' preferences, and so forth and so on. If I push it to the next step, what you see on the bottom left, it's an avatar. Of course, you should be able with your compliance department to push this type of information into one of those avatar making solution. But this means ultimately that you are able to create a completely bespoke portfolio review with some informations that are fully compliant and fully optimized with the LLM of your choice. So this is what we had to present to you today in terms of automations. InvestGlass, it's a turnkey solution. So of course, if you want to use InvestGlass just after this presentation, please let me know. We'll be happy to open you some free access with some data. Thank you very much for watching this InvestGlass presentation.